how they played today.
Well, there are 3 officials ready for today's game. The tip is up, and we're underway now. Well, it will be the Sevenoaks Suns with the first possession as Janice Montecano now has the ball in her hands.
And let's just speak about Janice as well. She did say that she was going to be retired, but let's just call this a delayed retirement as she now has found time in her schedule to play.
Well, there you can see the Montecano step back, takes a three-pointer right away. Janice Montecano gets it going from downtown.
She's definitely making her mark on the court right now. She is definitely one to fear for the London Lions.
Well, Janice Montecano, of course, was more of a sixth man last year when she was playing for the Sevenoaks Suns, but right now the London Lions will try to get things going with Hursta down low. Just great defense there by Julia Koppel.
And I think the London Lions may be taking it a little bit easier. They've had a very busy preseason, playing about 5 games in the last week. So I'm pretty sure they might be a little bit fatigued, but the Sevenoaks Suns are definitely going to be one to put on a show today.
Well, there's the early drive there again. You can see Judah Fritz with the offensive rebound. Again, one thing that's going to help Sevenoaks Suns really stay in this game is going off those second chances as Julia Koppel goes to the mid-range now. Kennedy Leonard will try to push this one here in transition.
And we see Bradshaw there taking a drive. She's a key player for the Sevenoaks Suns.
Well, there you can see Chantel Charles trying to dump it down into Holly Winterburn. Now Winterburn has to kick this one out. There's a 3 from downtown. The 3 is good. And already London Lions starting to heat it up from the perimeter.
Right, Kiki is a very good player. I don't know if many know, but she graduated from South Carolina and was a first-round pick for the WNBA.
Well, the no-look pass there from, well, she's got to finish that one. Great drive by Renee Bush trying to find Julia Koppel. And Harrigan now will bring the ball up here for the Lions.
And I think that's going to be key for the Sevenoaks Suns. Keep pushing the tempo, keep getting into the bucket and make easy layups. And we see a turnover there, a rare one there by the London Lions.
Well, Harrigan just had a bit of butterfingers there on the pass, but again, I think you're right there. The London Lions are just trying to settle themselves in this game. It's been a long preseason for them, getting the pieces together. Again, a lot of expectations, but already putting some pressure against Renee Bush. It's going to be a baseline ball here to the Suns. Well, tempo is going to be key in this game, of course. The Lions will like to play their traditional style, get out in transition, but again, they can punish teams in the half court. And at the moment, Kiki Harrigan needs some aggressive defense as the Suns now get it in here to Judah Fritz.
And like we mentioned before, the Suns are a little bit low. Excellent drive there by Fritz.
Well, Fritz went in the lane and just kissed that one off the backboard. And the Lions now, again, we'll try to get things going here with Kennedy Leonard. Leonard here, heavily guarded. Just trying to break this defense down to go to another high-low. That's some decent play there by Holly Winterburn, trying to seal off Renee Bush.
And that's the great thing about Holly Winterburn. She's a big-bodied guard, I should say, because she's able to attack the basket. She can shoot the 3 and post up like we just saw there.
Well, Leonard will inbound this one now. Well, Hessler trying to go for a backdoor play. Gets a handoff now. We'll give and go, pass it right to Julia Koppel. Well, now the Suns here have numbers in transition. Finds Janice Montecano. Montecano goes up. When she gets fouled, she will go to the free throw line here for 2 shots.
Yeah, and I think it's very important, like you said, Josh, pushing the tempo, running on the London Lions. But the one thing I do fear about is their rotation. How long are they going to keep up this fast-tempoed game?
Well, that's a key thing you talked about, their rotation. You compare both benches. As you mentioned in the interview that we had pre-game here, of course, the Suns are missing some players. And when you look at the depth of the London Lions, it's going to be key to see what is going to be the case here for Coach Len Bush. Is he going to be able to have his players play longer minutes? Janice Montecano might have to play plus 30 here tonight.
Yeah, and I think I would have preferred her to get the and one, but again, she got in there, making her foul shots too. And we've got to mention as well, they are missing Kat Carr, who usually plays 40 minutes a game for them. So I'm intrigued to see who on the team is going to step up.
Well, Hessler tries a 3-point, doesn't get it. The rebound secured, and the Suns now can push this one. Again, no quick option here in transition, but Renee Bush now will take on Chantel Charles. Kicks out here to Julia Koppel. Koppel now, another penetration kick out. Just over 10 seconds on the shot clock. They find Fritz. Fritz goes baseline. Fritz now goes in with a Euro-Hungarian step. She gets fouled, and the Hungarian international will go to the free throw line.
And that's what the Sevenoaks Suns are doing really well. They're attacking the basket, trying to make an extra pass. They're making the London Lions have to work hard on defense.
Well, we have a timeout now as Mark Clark is going to talk it over with his players. Kiki Harrigan just having a word there with the official. Maybe the Lions just need to settle themselves into this game, but great start here from the Sevenoaks Suns.
Yep, great start. Way to be aggressive, and they just need to keep up with it.
Well, again, yesterday the London Lions opened their account in which, you know, many looked at the scoreline, and again, I think it's tough to say because it's easy for us to make the X's and O's and sort of the opinions, but again, you've got to applaud the fact this team is built for international basketball. What can we say about their victory last night?
Yeah, you know, and I guess it would have been an easy one for them anyway because Oakland are pretty much a college team, you would say. They've got a lot of young players, and as we see here on the screen, we've got 8 players that were in double figures. So I think there's a good thing that comes out of it because the Oakland Wolves, it's a great chance for them to play against really, really good players. So I'm pretty sure they would have taken some stuff out of it. And with the Lions, maybe not so much, but I guess it's a great way for them to just keep their legs going because they have been playing a lot of preseason games.
I mean, that's unbelievable, right? As you mentioned, a WBBL record, as I said, 8 players in double figures. But look at that stat, right? That's almost 2 years. I mean, it's only a couple hundred days away, I think, or so from 2 years. 514 days. The London Lions have yet to be defeated. At the moment, it's early stages. I mean, never say never, of course. I mean, the Lions could go on a strong run, but if there is a team that probably could end that run, it's got to be the Sevenoaks Suns.
Yeah, and I do think we've got a few teams that have upped their game as well. We've got Leicester and we have Caledonia as well, who I think are going to be great competitors for the London Lions.
Well, currently the free throw line is Judah Fritz, as we mentioned, the Hungarian international. She was a key player last year for the Sevenoaks Suns. Predominantly a shooter on the perimeter, but one thing she's improved her game at is definitely breaking down defenses and getting into the key. But at the moment, Lions find themselves down by 5 points. Well, Kennedy Leonard now trying to orchestrate the offense here. Charles now looking for Holly Winterburn. Winterburn, a quick catch and shoot for the perimeter. The 3 is up, no good, and Montana secures the rebound.
And one thing the Sevenoaks Suns are doing really well is getting the defensive rebounds. I'm not sure if the London Lions have had an offensive rebound. And we see Janice there taking a 3-point shot. I don't blame her for taking one. She's made one already, so keep shooting.
Well, there you can see looking for the cross-court pass in the corner. The 3 is up. They get an open look, and the 3 is good. And again, it's one thing you cannot afford is to leave these London Lions players wide open. Harrigan knocking down the triple.
Yeah, but I think their defense coverage on the ball screen has been really, really good. But defense always has to let something go, and that 3-point shot in the corner there was something that is tough to defend. Fritz
now coming up to set a screen here. Great defense by Holly Winterburn. The kick out, finding Renee Bush in the corner. And the former University of Pennsylvania player sinks it from downtown.
And if I was the London Lions, you need to get up on Renee Bush because she is an excellent, excellent shooter.
Well, Renee Bush, of course, arriving in the United Kingdom as a elementary school age. And again, somebody call the electricians. The copper box lights are being shot out by the London Lions. Holly Winterburn nails it. Well, now Renee Bush coming off once again. Again, she came to the United Kingdom when her father and mother obviously moved to the United States. As Judah Fritz in the lane puts up a little finger roll there. And Judah Fritz kisses that one off the backboard.
Great way to attack the basket. I'm not too sure what the London Lions defense is doing, as there was no help whatsoever there.
Well, smooth little post move there, forcing Herschler into a very tough shot. Great job by Koppel. And now Renee Bush can push this one. We're trying to find Montana, and again, unable. The referee was wide open. I mean, he was wide open. I'm just saying.
Good one, Josh.
Well, again, you know, it's interesting. A lot of people that may not be aware of the Sevenoaks Suns, but head coach Len Bush moved to the United Kingdom in the summer of 2001, in which all 3 of his daughters were my classmates at the American School of England Tassets, and that's where she excelled her basketball game. She is the leading scorer in high school history of Tassets England, over 2,000 points. GB International at the moment now having to guard Holly Winterburn. Well, Winterburn goes down low, finds Harrigan. Beautiful ball movement, but she missed a wide open look, gets her own rebound. And again, you took that offensive rebounds. I think they heard you.
Yeah, they must have heard me because Kiki just literally cleaned up after herself. Even though there, I think one she could have made. She's probably not used to missing so many shots inside, so maybe she kind of surprised herself there. But one thing that they did really well yesterday in the Oakland's game was move the ball very well, especially around the perimeter, and then getting the ball inside for easy buckets.
Well, this is going to be interesting now because now Coach Len Bush has got a choice to make. He has to go to his bench. As you can see, already a few changes. Renee Bush now currently coming onto the bench. But you made a good point as well. Kat Carr not being here this year. She is one of the greatest players in the history of WBBL basketball.
Yep, I don't know if many know, but she, I believe, started her WBBL career in 2014. I could be wrong, could be a little bit earlier or a little bit later, but it was around that time. And she's just excelled. She can play 1 through 5.
Well, many may not know this as well, but Kat Carr was my assistant coach in a tournament in Athens, to which I realized after the second game she should have actually been the head coach. I stepped down because, I mean, as you said, not only can she play every position, but she had a basketball brain. That's why she was 2-time MVP of the WBBL. And again, life without Kat Carr is going to be tough here for the Sevenoaks Suns. Well, Fritz now having to play point guard duty here for the Suns. Trying to get the ball down low here to Janice Montecana. Well, they turn it over now, and the Lions can push this one. Beautiful basketball. Well, that ball did not touch the floor. And a bit of showtime. London Lions. Fast break basketball. You got to love that one.
Yes, I sure did. I think the London Lions are excellent. Ooh, and I love that split.
Finding Montecana. Montecana reverse layup. Can't get it. It goes out of bounds. It's going to be Sevenoaks ball.
Now, do you think if Janice made that, top 10 play, do you think?
Oh, 100%. But again, what a great transition play after a great defensive stop by the Lions. The ball didn't touch the floor. But again, you see how they split the defense, finding Montecana. Could she have gone up with the right hand? Possibly, but it's Janice. It's Janice.
She always puts on a show for us.
Well, Janice turns the ball over. Well, very interesting. Great defense there by Shanice Beckford-Norton. And again, I think she's been a huge revelation for the London Lions last season in the European campaign.
Yes, she has. She definitely has. Commonwealth silver medalist. We have to say that.
The Lions now going to a dribble handoff offense, trying to cause a lot of problems here for the defense. They get a wide open look. The 3 is up. The 3 is no good, but another offensive rebound. Goes out of bounds, and that will be, well, no. Well, that's interesting. I felt that came off of, wow,
maybe they're just trying to make up the call for the previous where Shanice knocked the ball out of Janice's hands.
Well, I thought that came off of Millie Watkins' last touch, but.
Yeah, me too.
Well, close game right now here between these two teams. The Suns find some good looks early on. The question is tempo and how they can get this going longer now. Watkins kicks out to Fritz. Fritz now forces up a mid-range shot, doesn't get it. And now Beckford-Norton can push this one here to Winterburn. Lions now just trying to build up some esteem in their offense. Well, good ball movement, gets to a wide open mid-range, and she sinks that one.
And that was great ball movement. Did you see how fast they was moving the ball, causing Sevenoaks Suns to be pretty much all over the place on defense?
Well, Paulina Herser as well. I love the fact how quickly she got the ball and shot it at such a quick speed. But now Judah Fritz from, I think it was going to be a 2-point shot. She may have had a foot on the line. The Lions again can push this one. Winterburn stops, thinks about it, takes a 3, doesn't get it. Watkins with a rebound now. It's a 3-on-3 here in transition. Tries to find Judah Fritz under the basket. Fritz fumbles it. Can't get the shot there. That's a good look, but she's got to knock that one down.
Yeah, especially inside the key, wide open. I think that should have been a score right there.
Well, Winterburn down the middle. Well, Winterburn. Hard foul reach in there by Janice Montecana. I think Renee Bush is going to check back into the game here for the Suns.
And you know what? I would say that's actually a good foul there by Janice Montecana because it gives them time to now take a breath. Now she gets a sub as well. We get the rotation with Renee Bush coming in. So sometimes you just need to stop the play because the London Lions now have that 2-point lead.
Well, 2:55 to go here. As you mentioned, the Lions starting to really settle in. You like the way this team plays. They're able to get out in transition. You know, they don't play that run and gun style of basketball. If they have a quick option, they'll go for it. If not, down to the coach and the mark clock. They really do get into a disciplined half-court set. Yes, and one of their half-court sets being the handoffs. They utilize that every single year, and I have not seen a team yet to stop that. Well, Winterburn now looking to go pick and roll here. Goes the pick and pop now. Goes baseline now. No help. Gets rejected. Oh, they called a foul. Wow. I got to tell you, the block looked clean to me. Me too. I'm not too sure about that call. It's a bailout right there. The only thing I can think on that one is the block does come from behind. Let's have a look at the replay. So she does get beat. but it does look all ball, though. But again, where I can see why the official has made that call is the fact the offensive player has beat the player to the spot. The block does come from behind. That's the only thing I can think about it. Tough life being a referee, I tell you.
Right. Not a job that I would do well at.
But I have so much respect for all the officials, whether it's the FIBA Basketball Champions League, whether it is the BBL, the WBBL, you name it. Their job, they have to make decisions at such a quick pace. And you know what? For 100% of the time, I think they do a great job. I don't think it gets any more accurate than that, of course. But
I definitely would prefer to be in the shoes I'm in right now up here with you, Josh, than down there with them.
Absolutely. Well, they turn it over now. Good defense. And now the Lions can go up by 6 points. You're going to lay that one up. Poor passing there from the Sevenoaks Suns.
Yeah, and I think with the London Lions as well, because they're all athletic, I believe every player can pretty much guard through 1 to at least 4 or 5.
Well, Lions doing a great job of putting their hands in the passing lanes now, making everything difficult here for the Suns. Renee Bush now for a Hail Mary 3, takes from downtown. Doesn't get it.
And I think the Suns need to just stay a little bit composed. Go back to what they was doing at the start of the game, driving to the basket to get the good reversal.
Well, there's a dump down there. And again, that's just going to be a mismatch all night long for the Lions in the low block. I mean, they have the size and the physicality. The only way the Suns can defend them at the moment is to commit those fouls. It's near impossible. I mean, unless they go for a double team or... I mean, what would you do in that scenario?
I mean, first of all, the way Tay Battle got position, I think that's the first thing that maybe the Suns need to have a look at. Maybe try to three-quarter front her inside and then maybe force her baseline to cause her to go into the defense.
I mean, as you said, Battle does such a good job of really asserting herself and cementing that position.
Right.
Once she gets it at the low block and you're back down defending, you got to either... Someone's got to come over and double team. As you mentioned, you got to stop her from getting the ball in the first place.
Right.
But now Judah Fritz here. Look to take on Battle. Fritz now hesitation. Down the middle, look for options. Well, Fritz just gets the ball taken away from her. And Battle, well, she wins that one. Lions now looking to push this one here with Harrigan. 7-point lead now. Just under a minute and a half to go here in the first quarter.
And it's not too bad. The Suns aren't doing too bad. They're only down by 7 right now. So if they get a defense to stop here and get a score, they're in a good position.
Well, we got to get a shot up now. A few seconds. Beckford Norton now's got to force something up. She hangs in the air. She takes it. A 24-second violation. Oh, they called a foul, I think. A foul has been called, and Melita, what a terrible foul to give away.
Right, but good job, Shaquila Joseph, going after the boards there, tried to tip it in.
But I think had the foul not been committed, it would have been a 24-second violation.
Do you think, or did Joseph get it up in time?
I think by the time she's gone for the basketball, the shot clock has expired. So again, you made a great point. Great job by Joseph to go in for the second chance. Let's have a look at the replay here. Yeah. That's a 24-second. That's a very poor foul to give away.
Yeah, I definitely think Watkins was that on? I think she should have just left Shaquila there. But lucky for her, she missed the first shot, the first foul shot.
I mean, you talked about composure. This is part of the growth mindset of being a composed basketball team. When it comes to very tough situations where you're in that situation for a few seconds, like you don't want to give the Lions any chance to go to the charity stripe. Well, 8-point lead now, under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Again, Lions putting a lot of pressure. Battle trying to come up with another stun. It will be a sideline ball here to the Suns.
Yeah, I think the Suns are just being a little bit too predictable with their passes.
Well, if you look at the Sevenoaks Suns bench, the assistant coach, well, a legend, one of the also greatest in WBBL history, Tianyi, or as most people call her, T-Clock. I mean, when she used to play, it was tea time.
Definitely. She was one that you 100% feared. I know playing against her, I was very fearful of her because not only was she able to walk the walk, she would talk the talk too.
One thing about T-Clock that many WBBL fans remember, she had a jump shot that was just, how can I put this as moderate as professional? It was pretty.
Right, she got up.
Yeah, that jump shot she had. And again, I've seen her, sometimes I see her at the school where she's working, still shooting around. I said, you need to come out of retirement. It's as simple as that.
Well, maybe she might this season.
She might have to, yeah. Well, Julia Koppel now, the Austrian international, at the free throw line here. Well, Julia Koppel, one part of her game that really did improve last year was her shooting from the mid-range. Now, she struggled early on here this evening. It's something that the Suns really need to step up and help their case now.
Get foul shots and layups.
A good ball movement here from the Lions. Under 10 on the shot clock now. Well, kicks out to Beckford Norton now. Beckford Norton from downtown doesn't get it. Bush secures a rebound, and now the Suns here. They've got numbers in transition. Well, looks like she's going to go all the way now. Bit of contact, no foul called.
Now that's tough. That's a tough take. Even though Kennedy Leonard may not seem like she's got many hops, but her arm length, her wingspan is huge, so she's able to take
well,
the
three-pointer there
away.
by Joseph. Well, Shaquille. Well, Shaq Joseph is in the house.
Lighting it up.
And again, when you play against a team as good as the London Lions and they start hitting three-pointers in transition, the confidence it does to the Sevenoaks Suns, again, you talk about composure. They need to play through. Now, a foul has been committed. Because I believe the Lions have put Suns in the penalty, it's going to be 2 free throw shots here to the Sevenoaks Suns.
And we've got to commend Bradshaw as well, because she's played this whole quarter right now and she's pushed the tempo. So she's definitely going to be key for the Suns for this whole game.
Well, free throws are going to be key in here. So far, the Suns have gone to the charity stripe a few times this season. I mean, you never want to look back on a game and think the outcome could have been different had you made all your free throws. Well, that is the end of the first quarter. So far, the London Lions with a 10-point leader at home after yesterday's emphatic victory for player in the WBBL, Jamila Thompson. I mean, you have a player like Jamila Thompson in your team. You just have a different swagger, a different amount of confidence. You know, some people look at Jamila's game and don't really see the full value of what she brings to a locker room, I think.
Exactly, because she's an energizer. She's able to do pretty much nearly everything on the court, whether it's pass or go up herself.
Well, Leonard now looking to throw this one down here to Harrigan. And she can make these shots in the mid-range and nothing but net. Cool as you like. Well, you might as well book a table here in the copper box because she is cooking it from the kitchen.
Seeing a little bit more pressure here from Leonard.
Well, Suns now very static here on offense. Lions just waiting to put the hands in the passing lane to come up with a steal. Montecana now spinning around. Montecana putting the moves on. Well, that's just Janice doing Janice things on the court.
Did you see the footwork?
Oh, let's have a look at the replay. Well, you know, it's a spelling bee test they used to have last year with the elementary fans in the Sevenoaks Suns arena. How do you spell Janice Montecana's name? Some games it's just 3 letters. MVP. She's great. She's fantastic because the one thing I like about Janice Montecana's game, it's so diverse. She can shoot from the perimeter. She gets out in transition. She can handle the rock. But also, she can post up.
Right.
And it's not just the sheer power against the basket. As you saw, the pump fakes, the spin outs. She's got a great touch around the basket.
Yep, and she always shows up to big games.
Yeah, that's absolutely true now. Well, Kennedy Leonard now bring the ball up here for the Lions. Coming off a screen with Harrigan. And Leonard now crossing over. Gets a handoff now here. Lions now just trying to break this defense down here. We're under 10 on the shot clock. Harrigan trying to take on Julia Koppel. There comes the double team now. Beckford Norton left wide open. Doesn't get it. Again, Harrigan gets rejected by Koppel. Lions making the most of their size and physicality, coming up with the second chances. The offensive rebounds punishing the Suns. Good ball movement in the lane, off the backboard, and the bank is open here on Sunday in Stratford, East London.
And I think that's where the preseason games has really helped the London Lions, because the connection there between Joseph and Battle there was amazing.
Well, once the double team came over from Judah Fritz, I mean, she had to make that choice right there because they need that help side defense in the post. Ball gets kicked out, reversal. At that point, the defense has to scramble. And I got to tell you, Sevenoaks Suns are one of the best teams in the WBBL being able to recover. But again, so when you're playing against the London Lions, it just has to be even better at this point. We'll find Julia Koppel now. Koppel looking for a handoff here, faking it, almost turns it over. She does just that. The Lions now, another transition. Shaq Joseph now. Shaq a bit of contact, and Shaquilla Joseph.
She is showing up today.
Well, she just making it look easy.
Now she has 6 points. She's doing really well this game.
Well, credit again to how the London Lions defensively come up with all these, forcing the Suns into turnovers, but again, how quickly they're able to turn them into transition points.
Yep, I think Sevenoaks Suns turnovers are going to be key for them.
Bradshaw now finding Fritz. Fritz with a pump fake. Finds a dump down to Koppel. Koppel goes in with a very, very tough circle shot. But good defense by Beckford Norton.
Exactly. Even though she might be a small player, she can jump super, super high. I don't know if many knows, but she used to play volleyball, so that definitely does help on the basketball court.
But no, I did not know that.
Yeah, that's why she jumped so high.
I tell you what, that is.
And we see here Kiki just getting into the lane, and I think that's what the Suns need to focus on.
I believe Matthew Bryan Manning has entered the copper box.
Hello, big time.
Yeah, thank you for sending me a text message that you were coming. Yeah. Matthew Bryan Manning, a huge advocate for British basketball, goes to a lot of games across the country. Monacana comes up with a steal. Bradshaw now finding Renee Bush. He needs to make this one here. Still can't get the drop. Fritz with the offensive rebound. And the Suns here getting good looks at the moment, just trying to break down this defense. Bradshaw, and the foul has been drawn there against Shaquila Joseph. Again, you got to credit. The Suns are getting good looks. They're getting wide open shots. They're just not dropping at the moment.
Yep, and I see here on the replay, Bradshaw is super quick. You see the way she gets Shaquila Joseph off balance and to commit the foul.
Well, sideline ball here to the Lions. 7:15 to go in the second quarter. Monacana now looking to take on Shaquila Joseph. Good kick out, finds Renee Bush. Well, Bradshaw left wide up. 4 seconds here. She's got to get something going. Monacana now from downtown. She'll take it. Doesn't get it. Good defense by the Lions.
Koppel almost got the steal there.
Well, Julia Koppel just gets called for a blocking foul there. But again, you got to love the sportsmanship there. I mean, she's committed a bit of a, I'd say a reckless foul. It is. I mean, I tell you what, some places you can get upgraded to an unsportsmanlike. But again, what I love about Judith Fritz, she does go over to say, hey, sorry, that was a mistake.
And we've been seeing that a lot more this season. The unsportsmanlike fouls are being called a lot more by the referees.
Well, Winterburn now put the moves here. Finding Joseph. Joseph in the lane, and she is having a buffet right now.
She had two options there. She had Hurstler and Joseph wide open inside the key.
Well, Holly Winterburn now renowned for her ability to score the basketball, and at the moment becoming an excellent facilitator here. Well, the foul has been committed on the ground. Great job there by Bradshaw. But again, going back to Holly Winterburn, how impressive is it that this team shares the basketball? 10 assists so far collectively for the London Lions.
Yeah, it's amazing. And Kennedy Leonard yesterday had 11 assists of her own.
Well, Beckford Norton now is going to come back into the game here for Harrigan. So it looks like that was a big lineup they had out there with Joseph, Harrigan.
Yeah, and I think this is where the Suns missed Jamila Thompson, because she could have been a huge help for the Sevenoaks Suns.
I think when the Suns get all their players in, they're going to be probably just as good as last year, maybe even better.
That's true.
So again, they've got to take as many little positives out of this game as much as possible. Now, a 24-second violation has been called, but, I've seen this team for many years. They'll be disappointed however this game ends up for them, but they'll look back at little things and say, look, this is where we need to improve. Because it's still early days here at the WBBL.
Exactly. It's not how you start the season, it's how you finish. So I'm pretty sure when they come up against the Lions, it's going to be a different story.
And that's also a testament to Len Bush, because, not only does he have great players around him, but they're also helping him out within the coaching, how they want to sort of improve themselves and move the club forward. Because now, Winterburn here trying to put the moves on a spin out, going all the way. Winterburn straps around with a finger over it, comes out of the basket, and Koppel throws it right away.
And I think that's where you need to pass it to your point guard and make the point guard make those types of decisions.
Well, Hursa sealed off against Bradshaw. She missed a wide open look.
Now, she must be frustrated about that one with Renee Bush coming down for a short jumper, and it's good.
Well, that would do Renee Bush's confidence a lot of good there. She pulls up for the mid-range in transition, cutting it down to a 14-point ball game. Lions now with all the pressure going forward.
Now, I'm loving this battle inside. Couple against Hurstler there. Did you see that with the post-ups?
Well, Hurstler now, you talked about outside. Sorry, you talked about the post. She went outside, but again, Koppel allowing her to take that shot.
Now let's talk a little bit about Hurstler, because we haven't really spoken much about her. She is Swedish and played in the Irish League last year, averaging 16.6 games, 6 points per game, and also played in the Euro Cup.
Well, Bradshaw goes in and gets the and one. Well, the circus shot came up, Again, I want to see the replay of that. Bradshaw, that's going to be a top 5 play of the week in the WBBL on social media. Please show us the replay. This is something out of nothing.
Right, look at the size up.
Take it, Hustler, the school there. Classes Basketball 101, your instructor, Bradshaw. And Mark Clark calls timeout.
And just going back on that play, one thing I love is that one-step scoop shot. Anyone watching, that is probably one of the toughest layups to make and beautiful to watch.
Well, it's a nice play there, of course, but again, it's just ways here to try and get themselves back in the game. I mean, one thing that the London Lions have to do, they have to make sure that no matter how much pressure they keep going forward, they do not take the foot off the pedal, because Sevenoaks Suns, they're right up there with them in the WBBL. I mean, this is the team that had to overcome the Nottingham Wildcats, and all of a sudden, the Lions, when they got stronger, they almost dethroned the Sevenoaks Suns as the queens of the WBBL. Again, you don't want to take your foot off the pedal.
Yeah, exactly, and we see the assist count there. The London Lions has 10. See here, we've got the game leaders Harrigan on 10 points. And for the Sevenoaks Suns, we have Monacana with 7 points. And I think if we go to the stats here from the three-point line, Sevenoaks Suns are only 2 for 7 from the three-point line. So I'm pretty sure if they got their confidence up a little bit more on the three-point line, that'll get them right back into this game. You have to admit they're excellent shooters, Sevenoaks Suns are. So,
well, that's one thing they were renowned for in the last few seasons. I mean, that's what I like. I mean, Sevenoaks Suns, very much, these two teams can play very similar styles. We talked about the Lions being able to get out in transition, get quick looks, whether it's from the perimeter, but also slow it down. The Suns do the exact same thing. And again, without some of their best players, I would say being down by 12 points isn't such a bad thing, of course.
Me neither.
Well, the Suns, of course, being run by Len Bush and the Bush family. Shout out to May Bush, a fantastic family, of course, who have done wonders for basketball in Sevenoaks and in Surrey. Currently now Bradshaw at the free throw line here to try and make the three-point play.
And it's good.
Kennedy let it out. Got it here by Bradshaw. Just under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Lions holding on to 11-point lead. Beckford Norton pulls up in the mid-range. Doesn't get it. But the wow, great offensive rebound. But again, you can argue with the call all you want, but the fact is, you got to box out.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. Box out first, then go for the board. And we see Paige Robinson checking in to the game here. She's had an amazing summer. I know through social media she's been having a lot of training session with Gary Maitland, so I'm intrigued to see how she comes into this game. And Kenan D. Leonard takes a seat there.
Well, Shaquila Joseph now currently at the... Oh, excuse me. My apologies. Battle at the free throw line here. So far, a good game for you. You know, what I like about her on defense is pretty much how composed she is. She doesn't overcommit herself. She plays to almost get the offensive play to turn the ball over rather than go for the steal.
Right.
But again, what a presence she has in
Solid
the low block
player
here for the Lions.
Very solid.
Well, looks like Chantrell Charles is also going to come back in the game here for the Pride. Well, Renee Bush now got it by Beckford Norton. Fritz now trying to find Koppel. Koppel catching it in a double team. Finding Monacana now. Great defense here from the Lions. Monacana hanging in the air. No foul called. Fritz with a rebound. Now, I think there was a problem there. They reset the shot clock, which they shouldn't have done. So the 24-second violation has been called. Good defense from the Lions.
We'll see here on the replay. I think Holly's hands came down just there. So maybe that could have been an argument there with the foul call.
I think you're right there, but I think also the fact is that Holly Winsburn did have good defensive position.
Yeah.
So I think at some point, as you said, decisions have to be made. And I think the defender had the advantage in that case as Winterburn tries a three-pointer. And now Fritz with a rebound.
And that's a tough shot too, a step back three.
We'll find a Koppel now. Koppel going all the way now with the Fangirl. Kisses that one.
No, I like that one. I like that one. That little step back hesitation.
Well, I was about to criticize it for that because I thought you get the ball in the post back down, but again, it worked to her advantage. Great defense by Monacana, and now Suns can push this one. Bradshaw down the middle now. She's looking for options here. She's going to try and slow this one down now with a pick and roll. Fritz now here with the ball in her hands. Heavily guarded by Holly Winterburn. Kicks out the couple. A few seconds now here on the shot clock. And another turnover. A great pass in by Chantrell Charles and a layup there. And all the moment, it's all London Lions.
And that's tough, and that's the problem. Anytime you turn over the ball, the London Lions are going to be right back at you with the fast break, with Chantel with the excellent half-court pass.
Well, both these teams love to play up-tempo. They love to get the ball out in transition. But again, you got to credit the fact that it's almost like with these players, especially in this game with the London Lions, I've got a shot, but I know she's got a better one. That's what I feel like when I'm watching them. Yeah,
exactly. And that's why it just goes to show how effective team basketball can be. The London Lions sharing the ball with... We still got Harrington there with 10 points. Kennedy Leonard with 4 assists. Battles with 3 steals right there. And that just goes to show team basketball. We've got 4 different players on the stat sheet there. And I think maybe the Suns can kind of learn a little bit from them too, because you see in their offense, they're a little bit stagnant. The ball just stayed in one side of the floor. So maybe trying to get the ball reversal would help them to get a wide open attack on the other side. But with the London Lions and their excellent defense, it's pretty hard to do that.
Well, they can see Monicana. She's 6 rebounds and 3 points away from a double-double. Fritz with the 1 assist. Yeah, going back to the Lions, of course. Kiki Harrigan is 5 rebounds away already from a double-double, and it's not even halftime yet. I mean, that's an impressive stat line.
Well, hey, 6th pick in the WNBA. And it's great for this league as well to have such incredible players who've made an impact around the world come into the WBBL, and definitely think this is what the league needs.
Well, as you said, again, we are attracting WNBA talent to come here to the WBBL. I mean, who wouldn't want to come to Great Britain and play in this league and to be in this country, of course? But again, what's even more impressive is the fact that now we got teams competing in Europe, of course. Lions again are going to have a big European campaign.
Yeah.
One day I'd like to see Sevenoaks Suns as well in Europe, because I think they have the personnel, maybe 1 or 2 players away from getting to that level.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, Winterberg now kicking this one out. Tries the 3. A 3 is up a little bit short, doesn't get it. Another offensive rebound here to the Lions. We'll make some penetration now. Finds Chantrell Charles.
Let's talk about Chantel Charles. I think she's amazing, a great role player. She does the little things. She gets the balls, makes excellent passes. And we see Bradshaw there on the floor again.
Well, if we're going to talk about Chantrell Charles, can we also talk about Desmond as well?
Is he here today?
Oh, he's here. He's the MVP, the most valuable person, greatest basketball fan on the planet. He's here. He is here. I just saw him earlier. So for those who may not be aware, Desmond is the father and one of the best advocates of British basketball, especially for the WBBL. Desmond is in the crowd. And Bradshaw now currently at the free throw line here for the Sevenoaks Suns. Well, going back to that foul there, again, I think what you probably saw there was that Holly Winterburn tried to take a charge but didn't get the right positioning on it. Again, with a 13-point lead at the moment, or 12-point lead after making that free throw. Again, I still think for the Lions, probably they want to be up by at least 20 points going into the halftime interval.
Yeah, I agree, because it gives Sevenoaks Suns that confidence to say, hey, you guys might be in the Euro Cup, but look at us, we're one to fear too.
Well, Winterburn now looking for the penetration. Kicks out here again. Battle with the mid-range. Hits the back iron. Doesn't get it. And the rebound now secured by Judah Fritz. 12-point deficit here. Suns. They can get it within single digits going into the halftime. Something to give them some confidence for the second half. Penetration by Bradshaw. No foul called. Offensive rebound by Fritz. He's got to go up with it. It goes off the backboard. And it's all of a sudden a 10-point ball game.
And Bradshaw there with that drive, I love it. Even though I do think she can make her layups, that was an excellent drive, because then it gives her teammates the chance to get the offensive rebound like Fritz did just there.
Well, Renee Bush now matching up here with Holly Winterburn. Tries to pass the Battle under the basket. Battle goes in with a circus shot, doesn't get it. But she will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. I got a question for you. The fact that London are such a strong team in and around the basket. We know they're a great perimeter shooting team, and probably one of the reasons Coach Len Bush doesn't want to go to his zone defense. But could his zone defense help the Sevenoaks Suns in the front court?
Well, it's early days, so put it out there just to see how the London Lions react to it. If it doesn't work, you can always come out of it. And you also got the 2-3, you got the 3-2 to maybe cover the perimeter. having problems saying that word there. Let's go with
better
around
than
the
me.
arc then.
Don't worry, you're much better than me.
But then the problem with that, the inside is open because you only have 2 players to guard inside the key.
Well, again, as we mentioned with this team being in Europe, the depth they have, players can play a certain amount of minutes, and the rotation for the Lions is much larger than it is for the Suns.
And I think maybe that's why the zone would help the Suns too, because it gives players a chance to rest a little bit.
Well, Watkins has to force up something at the end of the shot clock, doesn't get it. And just under a minute and a half to go here in the first half. Lions leading by just the 11 points at the moment.
And did you know Bradshaw and Kiki Harrington were former teammates? And you see there with the and one play.
Well, same story again, of course. An offensive rebound by Harrigan. Suns failing to box out. Actually, I did not know that.
Yeah, they both played for South Carolina freshman year.
You are a basketball thesaurus, I tell you.
I didn't think I was. I'm surprised at myself here.
Fountain of basketball knowledge.
I love the game too much. You see Leonard clocking back in. And Hustler.
Well, I like Harrigan's game, of course. I mean, stepping into this team is always a lot of expectation, a lot of responsibility that falls on each player, because it's not like you just join in the best. You got to come in and be the best of the best.
Right.
When you go into Europe, at some point it's going to be your moment to be called upon.
Exactly. And it's just like, how do you guard her? She can attack the basket. She can shoot the free. She can seal great inside. And she's a blocking machine.
Well, Bradshaw now looking for the screen, but passes up to Judah Fritz. 14-point lead to the Lions. Finding Koppel here. 5 on the shot clock. Well, Bradshaw goes back door. Got to get something going. Puts up a little floater. Doesn't get it. And the Lions now look to play. Again, I was going to say that Julie Koppel's a great player, but is she the player you want with the ball in her hands with 5 seconds on the shot clock?
That's exactly what I was thinking. But maybe they just need to be a little bit more aware of the time.
Winterburn now goes baseline, kicks out to Charles. Charles takes a 3. Is up. The 3 is good. Well, Chef Charles cooking it from the perimeter. I know Desmond liked that one.
I was just trying to see if I could see him in the crowd there. He probably had his hands up for that one.
Well, again, tough shot there. 10 seconds left in the game. Renee Bush went for the 3-pointer, and now the Lions get another chance here. Kennedy Leonard kicks out to Winterburn. Winterburn now back to Leonard. 3 is up in the corner, and again, decision doesn't pay off there for the... Be like Kiki.
Hey, I like that one.
Well, the second half will begin here. The Sevenoaks Suns will have the first possession. As Renee Bush now will inbound the ball here to Bradshaw now. 18-point deficit. Well, Koppel, Monicana, along with Judah Fritz here in the lineup for the Suns. And again, an early turnover.
And that's where I want her to be a little bit more aggressive. Look at the basket first. Can I attack? Because the middle there was wide open for her to just do a 1-dribble layup like we saw from her in the first half.
Oh, you're absolutely right again, because what that does as well just puts a bit more pressure on the London Lions front court. But again, if you're only looking to pass the ball, the Lions know what to expect now. And you can see Kennedy Leonard coming off one screen now. Janice Monicana is going to match up here with Kiki Harrigan. But to get a switch on defense. Well, Hess wide open under the basket. Great defense by Bradshaw, but it's going to be 5 seconds on the shot clock. And the Lions ball on the baseline.
Former teammates there going at each other. We see on the replay here. Great hands there by Bradshaw.
In the lane now with a bit of a Euro step back. Well, let me tell you, it might be full, but the Winterburn is killing it here at the Copper Box. She sliced the defense.
Let's see what the Suns do to counter that.
Well, Bush now catching guarded by Holly Winterburn. Makes the penetration out, gets caught in a double team, puts up a little floater off the backboard, doesn't get it. And the Lions now can push this. Well, tries a no-look pass, and Bradshaw comes up with it. And now the Suns have numbers there. It's a 5-on-3. Bradshaw, she's got Monicana, finds Janice. Janice, bit of contact. And she'll go back to the free throw line.
I think she could have just been a little bit more patient there as she drove into the basket there, because the defense went flying. So maybe she could have just paused for 1 more second and then just put the ball into the basket. But she's at the foul line now with 2 shots.
Well, Janice Monicana, renowned, as we mentioned, last season for coming off the bench and just putting up, regular 20 points especially at home at the Surrey Sports Park. But at the moment, hasn't really been able to find that rhythm from the perimeter.
No, she hasn't, but I'm pretty sure it's going to come soon. Hopefully for the Sevenoaks Suns. And Hurst there, she's on 3 fouls.
Well, again, with the lack of depth right now on the bench for the Sevenoaks Suns, she's going to have to play those minutes as Hessler tries another 3-pointer, doesn't get it. But Montecana throws it right away.
And that's just sloppy there. I don't know if it's fatigued, but that's one thing that you cannot do, turn over the ball.
Well, Harrigan went for the 3-pointer. Charles came up with it, but just fumbled it under the basket, and it will be possession back to the Suns. So you're right there, of course. I mean, look, you come up with a rebound. You know, the Lions are one of those teams that if you make mistakes, they'll punish you. But if you get things right, they still are able to punish you. So every decision has to be made to the best ability here.
And I think Chantel Charles may have just put too much lotion on there at half-time because it just slipped right through her hands. And she's a great attack there by Janice Montecana. That's what she needs to keep doing. Attack the defense. Cause the London Lions to get into foul shots and foul problems, and then just chip away at that lead by getting foul shots. Great take.
Well,
just rolled
Montecana,
out.
you love the hesitation there, but more importantly, this is a player, predominantly right-handed, but there you can see also showing the confidence to go in with her left hand as well. She's got to step up and make these free throws.
And that's just been her game from since we played at junior level together. That left hand is literally like it's her stronger hand because she prefers the left over to her right. And there they cut the lead down to 19 points. We've got Kennedy Leonard at the top here, setting up a play.
Well, there's a dump down now. Great recovery defense there by Koppel as Charles goes down the middle. Kicks this one out to Harrigan. And Harrigan now pulls up off the mid-range and she gets the and one. Well, Supermom is going to work.
God, love that. Look at the patience. She just looks so effortless. The jump shot, hopefully we can see it on the replay. But
well, I want to see the replay of that because let me tell you something right now. London Lions, you may need to call a babysitter at the moment because Harrigan is going to be here weekly basis given the buckets. She makes a 3-point play. She can play. She's tough. She's tough. Well, Bradshaw dealing with the heavy full court pressure now. Renee Bush now tries another 3-pointer, doesn't get it.
Now, I like that look. I like that look. She's open, feet set.
Well, Holly Winterbird now here in transition. Finding Harrigan in the corner, one more pass. Well, she made her last 3-pointer, takes another one. Doesn't get this one, but another offensive rebound. Battle is able to secure it now. Fresh 14 here for the Lions. Winterbird now dishing it down to Battle. Great job by Bradshaw, very aggressive.
And then look at her here, pushing the tempo.
Well, Bush now heavily guarded here. It spins in, goes in, and she's gonna get the AM1. And that is the Renee Bush we saw time and time again last season.
Now, I love that. From the defensive end, you got the stop and still. You push the ball in transition, and then the London Lions are now in an awkward position because you've got to stop the ball, but then you don't have that extra rotation to cover that excellent take there from Renee Bush.
Well, Kennedy Leonard, again, I thought she did a great job of beating Renee Bush to the spot, but it was a spin-out move.
Yep.
But again, she's got to have someone come over for the help side defense at that point. But again, with the high level you play in Europe, you have to be accountable for every play you've defended. Well, Kennedy Leonard now will try to orchestrate something here on offense for the Lions. Getting a handoff here with Holly Winterbird. Winterbird now gets a switch on defense. Got it by Koppel. Tries a love pass. Beautiful dump down. But again, Bradshaw one more time defensively. Much better here in the second half.
Right, she's just everywhere. God, love her.
Well, Montecana was fouled on the ground. I think she was expecting to get the 3 free throws, but great decision by the official not to deem that a shooting foul.
You see here on the replay.
Well, some places in the globe of international hoops, you may see that be called a shooting foul, but the foul was definitely called on the ground. Well, Suns now get this one inbound here to Renee Bush. Trailing by 19 points. Trying to use a screen here from Julia Koppel. Well, Koppel's trying to seal off against Battle, but Battle doing a great job on defense. 6 on the shot clock here. Goes down the middle. Well, she had a option to go to Fritz there, but pulls up a little floater, doesn't get it.
And that's tough because she drove towards her left side into her own. Oh, great pull up there. She's just unstoppable.
Well, like I said, London Lions, you might want to call a babysitter because Harrigan is going to be here week in, week out, making it rain in the copper box. And now the Lions can push this one. Good patience here from the London Lions. Kenny Leonard now kicking this one out to Chantrell Charles. She's made 1-3. She makes another one. And at the moment, it's a cookout here in the copper box.
Excellent play there. The way Kennedy drove towards the middle, and I think defensively, that's where you need to make sure the ball stays out of the middle of the floor because you will get punished.
Well, Renee Bush now just trying to orchestrate something. A few seconds here. She goes all the way to the basket. No foul call, but she just kisses that one off the bank. Again, they need some more of that. Well, Chantrell Charles now hit a last shot from the perimeter. Holly Winsburn left wide open, hits the front iron, and the ball.
And that was a great push there by Bradshaw. Unfortunately, again, it's just super hard to try to run on the London Lions because they are so athletic, so tall. So when you pass over them, they're still getting a tip on the ball. And we've got to go back to Kiki. She's got her double-double with 18 points now and 11 rebounds. Amazing, amazing player there. It's one to watch, guys. And one thing the London Lions are missing, even though the 7-8 Suns are missing 2 American players, the London Lions are missing Azania. So she definitely is going to be a huge, huge impact on, well, with the London Lions because with her extra height and IQ as well, her leadership, it's going to be really, really tough to beat the London Lions.
Well, one thing you love about having Azania Stewart in the lineup, of course, is that she's just such a good post player. You know, one thing I don't like to hear these days, a lot of people like to say that the center position no longer exists in basketball, that it's all about the perimeter. It's all about, you know, the Golden State Warriors style of basketball.
Yep.
You know, depending where you play, sometimes in some matchups you do need a dominant center. For me, Azania Stewart is probably one of the best centers you'll find in international basketball.
Exactly. She keeps the game very, very simple. She posts up very well. When she catches the ball inside, she always takes a minute. She also is so unselfish. As she catches the ball in the paint, she looks opposite her to see, can I kick it out to my shooters? If not, then she's going to back down her her defender and then take it to herself. So, yeah, she is definitely an amazing player who also was retired and came out of retirement just like Janice Monacana too. So we've got to keep these ladies in the game because I just love to watch them play. I never want to see any of them retire.
I feel like if someone says they're going to retire, it's just a way of saying, yeah, I'll be back in a few months. I'm just going for a sabbatical or a holiday.
And for Janice Monacana, maybe just a summer holiday.
No, you know what? I'm gonna say this right now. One day, Janice Monacana will be 100 years old, right?
Yep.
We're going to need to find her new teammates to pass her the ball when she's on the court so she can keep shooting the basketball. That's what I'll say.
She may not even need that because she can just take it herself.
Well, they get the ball to Koppel now. Koppel goes in with a little finger on again. A little bit of inspiration there. Just what, wow, good job by Bradshaw. Unlucky not to get the and one. Could have been a potential 5-point play there for the Sevenoaks Suns.
And that's just sloppy defense there from the London Lions. You see Joseph just not on the same page as Murray there. And Bradshaw just everywhere again.
Well, Bradshaw, again, I like the fact she's coming here, really tried to be a solid backcourt player here for the Sevenoaks Suns. But at the moment, you can see defensively she's been doing a good job of, you know, shifting over and making those switches. That's caused a few turnovers for the London Lions. But at the moment, she needs to do a little bit more here on offense if the Suns are going to get back in this game.
Yeah, exactly. And what's the hashtag? Know your name?
Know
Everyone
name.
needs to know her name. I'm making a new hashtag. Know her name.
We've got a few new hashtags. Be like Kiki, know our name.
Right? I think we need to be a part of the social media team now.
Well, gets her own offensive rebound. The foul is called on the ground. But again, I got to, regardless whether you agree with the call or not, the thing is, a player who shoots the ball, gets her own rebound, you got to look at the defense. You have to be able to look in the mirror and say, we got to do better than that.
And especially for bigs as well, because they have that big presence, it's easy for the referees to call fouls against them when they just put their hands in. But like you said, secure the defensive rebound.
Well, we got another timeout here, as I believe Mark Clark wants to talk it over with his players as they lead here by 19 points. And again, he will be happy with how they've started this game, but he wants to make sure they finish the game as strong as possible.
Yeah. And I think that's I think Len Bush also needed a timeout there just to talk about, let's get the defensive rebound and keep pushing on them, because they are a beatable team. You can't deny that. So let's just focus on little things so that we can try to chip away at the lead to hopefully tie up the game before the end. That would be lovely. Go to overtime. Who doesn't love overtime?
Everybody loves an overtime. No, but you're absolutely right, of course. I mean, look, it's very wrong for us to look at the Suns and to kind of be very critical for them in this game. You know, they have great talent in their team, just like the Lions do. The difference is the Lions have a larger depth of talent. And you're right. Yeah, go on, sorry.
No, sorry. In moments, the Suns are looking very, very good. The way they attack the basket, the way defensively, Bradshaw getting all those stops, causing mischiefs, I guess, for the London Lions. So if they keep doing those things, then I can't deny they are looking good. We don't really care too much about the score because it is early game, but they are looking pretty good. So I'm excited to see them later on in the season.
I mean, the biggest positive that can happen for the Sevenoaks Suns in this game is that they don't let this lead get any bigger. They stay compact, they stay principled, but more importantly, just keep playing to the end, which they will do, obviously. But again, you've got to do that against a very big talent here in the London Lions. Well, they go down low now. The turnaround jump shot doesn't get it, but another offensive rebound, and it's under the basket. The 24-second violation is going to be called. Well, Melita, one thing I love about the Lions is just the hunger, the tenacity to go for second chances.
Yeah. From the point guard all the way up to the forward. Every spot does their job very, very well.
Well, Bradshaw now getting a handoff here with Janice Monicana. Down low to Julia Koppel. Koppel turning around well. Pass out of the post. Monicana now. She pulls up in the mid-range. A little bit short. Finds Judah Fritz now. Fritz can make these from downtown. And Judah Fritz cutting it down now to a 16-point ball game.
See, just doing little things very well. Getting the offensive rebound, allowing them to get that second chance shot.
Well, Holly Witterburn, she tries to left from the perimeter, doesn't get it. Fritz with a rebound. Gets caught in a double team. Well, throws it right away there. Well, it's a hard foul by Bradshaw. I think Bradshaw may be lucky she didn't get called for an unsportsmanlike foul there.
Right, but great job, Tay Battle. The way to just keep at it. Even though they've secured the rebound, you see there your teammates going in for the double, so that's an easy steal for you.
Well,
and
look at the foul here. Look. That's an unsportsmanlike to me.
Really? I disagree. I think that's just a hard foul because she was going for the ball a little bit.
I don't think she is going for the ball. That's the thing. And the higher level basketball you watch, I mean, you'll see it in Europe this year, the opponents that the London Lions will play. Whenever you commit a foul that isn't any attempt to play the ball, most likely it's going to get upgraded. You're right. I mean,
you are right.
In standard basketball we watch, generally it's a hard foul. You're right. But when you play in international basketball, these fouls are upgraded to prevent there from being any injuries or any escalation between players, of course. But like I said, I think the officials, maybe she's lucky to get away with that one. But again, Janice Monicana going in.
The step through.
Well, that's the JM step. Forget the Euro step. Monicana going to work.
She's got 12 points now. She needs to just keep being aggressive, keep attacking the defense because she's doing it very well.
Well, left wide open now. Takes the three-point, doesn't get it. But another offensive rebound. The Lions, again, unable to capitalize as Judah Fritz will take this in transition.
But I like that shot there from Joseph because catch and shoot, she is very, very effective from the three-point line.
Well, Koppel pump fakes under the basket. Wasn't able to secure that one. Again, quickly how London get the ball up in transition. Winterburn, she'll let it fly from the perimeter. And Monicana able to secure the rebound. And there you can see Coach Len Bush asking Renee Bush, why would you make that pass there when you are just as capable? You know, one thing I like about Renee Bush's game in transition, she's very good at getting to the free throw line and pulling up for a mid-range jump shot.
Yeah, exactly. So like you said, I think she should have kept the ball and just pushed it up herself.
Well, it will be a sideline possession here to the Suns. And now remember, trailing by 17 points with just over 2.5 to go in the third quarter. Well, Millie Watkins now checking back into the game for the Suns. Watkins now looking for a handoff here with Bradshaw. 5 on the shot clock, finding Judah Fritz. Well, Fritz has got to get something going. Pulls up for the mid-range shot, doesn't get it. Tough shot there.
Tough shot. I think she should have attacked middle rather than going baseline. But I do think her catch and shoot was a little bit there. I'm not too sure, because when you're going against such long defenders, it's kind of hard to get your shot off there. And Janice Monacana just caught there for the blocking foul.
And that's the right call, because you see she's trying to go for the charge. You look at the replay here. She doesn't get into position. Wow. I mean, it's a split second late. That's what I'll say, but it's the right call.
But I don't think that's her help. You don't really want the strong side defense to help. So I believe that was Bradshaw who was the last defender there. It should have been her job to come in to take the charge.
Well, Janice Monacana at the moment, she has 12 points along with 6 rebounds. She's 4 rebounds away from a double-double. She just goes to the bench now to take a bit of a breather.
Yep, she's on 3 fouls, so she's going to have to sit for a little bit. And I think that's tough, because when you get to a certain age, or you've been playing the game for so long, sometimes when the games are so crucial where you are down and you need to get back into the game, I think players can manage their foul situations. But again, it is tough, especially when you don't have that bench rotation.
Well, 18-point ball game at the moment as we speak.
I think the referees there were just checking the shot clock.
Well, the pump fake by Beckford Norton now pulls up in the mid-range, doesn't get it. Another offensive rebound here for Joseph. And Joseph uncontested, and that has been the story of the night here. I mean, the size and physicality of the London Lions has enabled them to go for a lot of second chances.
And that's what I love to see from her, getting those rebounds, putting it back up, and she's now rewarded with 10 points.
Well, now Beckford Norton here in transition, finding Harrigan. She has that double-double. Remember, she has 11 rebounds with the 18 points.
And she's one that you need to locate when the Lions are on a fast break. And Joseph right there with the 3-point shot. She's doing everything. She's getting the offensive rebounds. Good job, Shaquila.
Well, just over a minute to go now. 23-point lead here to the Lions, but you're right here. She is doing everything on the court. She's playing inside, but again, if she's able to step out and hit those perimeter shots, it's going to cause any defense a few problems. Bradshaw just able to draw a foul there on Shaquila Joseph.
And Bradshaw is a tough person to guard as well, because she's super, super fast, as we're seeing. So not too bad of a foul there from Joseph, as the Lions are... Oh, sorry, I am incorrect. That is putting Bradshaw to the line. So not a great foul you want to commit there from Joseph.
Well, the Lions now have put the Suns in the penalty for the last minute. Again, that's something the Suns can look forward to, because any point you can draw some contact and draw a foul, you're going to go straight back to the charity stripe.
Yep, exactly. And we did call it in the first quarter as well. That's one way to try to get back into the game. Just get into the line. How do you do that? Being aggressive.
Well, Bradshaw unable to hit the second free throw, but an offensive rebound here for the Suns. And another foul there. And again, it's a silly one there by Shaquila Joseph to give away. There's no need to reach.
At all. I think she's just maybe a bit too excited. And maybe just too eager to get the steals. But again, yep.
Well, there you can see Sam Nita with the need for speed there in the corner. Whoa, easy now. Sam Nita now looking for a contract, I think. Well, you know, I think why Mark Clark will be disappointed with that foul there from Shaquila Joseph, because it's all about game intelligence, basketball IQ, the higher level you play. Yep. Does that foul have any sort of significance impact on this game? Absolutely not. But when you're playing in Europe or you're playing in the playoffs and you commit a foul like that when you're in the penalty and it's a close game, that's where it's going to become a problem. That's why I'll say he will want to make sure his players, they stay on the pedal. They keep playing right to the end and don't settle or relax.
Yeah, and I think that's just focus as well.
Well, they go down now to Harrigan. Harrigan now back to Beckford Norton. There's a pick and roll now, beautifully executed. Good ball movement, and Shaquilla Joseph, well, just told me to be quiet as she lays it up.
And that's excellent play there from Paige Robinson. Got that dive and then that unselfish play. She's right under the basket. Could have gone up herself, but saw Joseph wide open under the bucket too.
Well, looking for a dump down here, finding Bradshaw. 7 on the shot clock, kicks out to Judah Fritz. Great defense here by the Lions, and Fritz goes in. A beautiful move by Judah Fritz. And again, for me, she's one of the best shooters you will see here in the WBBL. But at the moment, she's got to be able to create for her own shot, and that's a nice shot. Last few seconds here for the Lions in the third quarter. Back out to Beckford Norton now, crossing over. Goes in with a little floater. Doesn't get it. And at the end of...
A lot of people do think London Lions are going to get that top spot, but I'm intrigued to see who's going to get that second spot too, because we've got a lot of teams who are in great positions to get that second spot.
Well, I think Sevenoaks, when they get the full team, they will challenge London for that top spot. It won't be... The story's not written.
Right, and they always have. Last season and the season before that too, they've challenged London Lions.
Supermom goes all the way, doesn't get the and one. Wow, mama, there goes Kiki again. Well, at the moment, she has 18 points along with 11 rebounds. Also, no steals or blocks at the moment. But again, my word, what a game. She doesn't have any assists, but again, she is predominantly a scorer.
And if anyone does follow her, everyone knows that she is a blocking machine too. So maybe she hasn't showed it this game, but I do think she's probably going to come up with the highest amount of blocks in the league. We see there as she makes her foul shots.
Well, Renee Bush now for this final quarter will bring the ball up for the Sevenoaks Suns of the Lions, holding on to a 23-point lead. Montecana here, heavily guarded. Janice now going to a left hand all the way. Janice Montecana, well, strong move, but put a little bit too much on it.
That's an excellent take there. She just needs to be a little bit more. And we see Kiki there, she just steps out of bounds.
Again, I like the professionalism from her as well. No arguments, no protests, just kind of realized that she made the mistake herself. And again, that's just a testament to what a great player she is.
We see Renee Bush here having to bring up the ball as Bradshaw sits down, takes a breather.
Well, heavily guarded here by Shanice Beckford Norton. Great defense. A double team comes over. Now they find Millie Watkins under the basket. Millie Watkins avoiding the block from Kiki Harrigan. Okay. I think she did a great job there, because had it been a split second slower, that ball would have been going into the VIP section. But again, great job by Millie Watkins.
I like here what the London Lions have on the court, because we got Shanice Beckford Norton and Taylor Murray on at the same time, and those two defensively are impeccable. And we get a timeout here called by Mark Clark.
Well, great job by Millie Watkins there to make the three-point play. And again, for the Sevenoaks Suns, the minor positives they can take from this game with a depleted team, if they can cut this down between 10 and 15 points, it's going to be a huge victory for Len Bush and his players. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, you know, if you are not here, if you're watching on the live stream, make sure you get to the Copper Box. Stratford, you have Westfield Shopping Center. But let me tell you, you've got two of the best teams there for the Lions, WBBL and BBL. Get to the Copper Box. The experience is phenomenal. I got to tell you, it's one of the best arenas you'll find here in the UK.
Right, and one thing that I've noticed as well is that the London Lions are going to be playing some of their Euro Cup games at Wembley Arena, and I think that is super, super huge. Wembley Arena. Everyone who is watching today, make sure you are there at the Euro Cup games to support the London Lions at Wembley Arena.
And you know what I like about that? You know, the home is here in Stratford. Wembley's in West London. Some games also will be played for the Women's Euro Games in Crystal Palace, which is South London. What the London Lions are doing, they're bringing London together. Now, look, if you look at London Lions at the moment, Harrigan with 20 points and 11 rebounds. She does have a double-double. But Shaquilla Joseph, what a game she's had with 15 points. Again, a bit critical of those two fouls she picked up. But my word, that's MVP caliber play there.
Yeah, and you've got to love the spread as well. Everyone has their points. Everyone is sharing the ball. And that's what the London Lions do very, very well.
Hey, yo, for those watching on the live stream, Sevenoaks Suns and London Lions, arguably two of the best three teams here in the WBBL. You're looking at a rivalry built on respect, but also competitive nature between two very good basketball organizations. The Suns, they will make sure they battle right to the end of the season so they compete for the top spot here with the Lions.
Yep, I definitely think they're going to be the two teams that we will see in the finals.
Well, we're going to go down low here. Turns around now, goes off the backboard again. I got to tell you, I don't know what it is about these rims here at the copper box, but there's the nice touch that helps every shot go in. Well, Renee Bush now finding Millie Watkins. Left wide open now. She can make these. The shot is up, no good. Not a bad look, though, from the perimeter.
Not a bad look, but she is struggling a little bit at the three-point line. But, hey, shooters keep shooting the ball.
Well, thrown again now to Hurst, and the foul has been drawn. But, you know, I think one thing in the defense for Renee Bush in this game, without the presence of Kat Carr and Jamila Thompson, and again, waiting for those Americans to come in, she's had to take on a bigger scoring load. And again, fatigue, physical as well as mental, has come into play. But let me tell you something right now. You know this. You've played against her. Renee Bush is arguably a top 5 player in the WBBL.
Oh, 100%. And I think for not just the London Lions, but other teams in the league as well is going to have problems guarding her.
Well, a three from downtown, no good. Montecano with a rebound. Bradshaw just checking back into the game. Still a 22-point lead here to the London Lions. Sevenoaks Suns.
And we see here they've changed up their defense a little bit going into the 2-3, which is what I thought the Sevenoaks Suns were going to do.
Yeah, we talked about that. You're absolutely right. You made that comment. But again, Suns struggling to get things going against the zone, as the Lions now are going to go up by 24 points. And another timeout is going to be called here, as I think Len Bush is going to talk about a potential high-low offense to maybe battle this 2-3 zone.
Yep. And if you see here on the replay, when Murray did get that steal, she almost looked at Shanice Norton saying, hey, are you going to run a bit faster so I can give you the dime so you can finish? So you see that unselfishness that the London Lions do have. But let's see if Len Bush here draws up something for them to counter this 2-3 defense.
Well, great defense, but, you know, it's not a case of just going for the ball. It's putting your hands in the passing lanes and creating turnovers, forcing the other team to make those turnovers. But how quick does this team get out in transition?
Super, super quick. And I think that's a lot of people do think that playing a zone, it allows the players to be a bit more relaxed, a little bit more reserved on the defensive end, but it's untrue. As we see there, the way Murray's hands were up, you need to be very, very active to have a great effect playing the 2-3 zone or any zone.
Well, you're right. I mean, of course, whenever you play against a zone, I mean, in your days, you kind of just want to spread the floor, pass, and get open looks. In that case, maybe a little bit too congested from the Sevenoaks Suns.
Yeah, and I think this is where they need to capitalize on their three-point shots, because they are a great shooting team, and this is their chance now to try and get those open shots to counter the 2-3.
Well, at the moment, it stands at a 24-point deficit with under 8 minutes to go. Remember, this is the game day 2 here at the WBBL. The Lions coming off the back of a very big victory in which, you know, they made WBBL history, actually, with 8 players in double figures, and also taking, I believe, to 512 days, their run where they haven't lost a game, of course. Well, Renee Bush now will walk the ball up here. Lions stand in this 2-3 zone now. Bush goes for a quick three-point. The 3 is up. And that is Renee Bush, trademark, LTD, whatever you like.
But again, then you see here, London Lions just attacking.
Well, they waste the opportunity, but Janice Montecano pump fakes. Oh, Janice put the moves on. Janice again.
With the stepper!
Oh, baby! Janice Montecano is the professor. You said Mark Clark. No, Janice Montecano is teaching a lesson of you down there.
She's putting on a clinic for us.
Well, I like the double crossover. Again, she sliced and diced the defense up.
And then had the step through at the end there. And Shanice Norton just going up for the jump shot, unable to score, but Hersler
the offensive
getting the rebound. Yep.
Again, I got to go back to Janice Montecano. I mean, how she was able. I mean, I thought she should have taken the three-pointer because, you know, when you're down at this point, you want to go for open looks from downtown. But again, she put on a triple-double crossover. But it's how she split that defense in half like an apple.
Right. Janice, if you're listening after the game, do not retire because we want to see more of this.
Well, Janice, like I said, one day you're going to be 100 years old, and then we're going to have to find you new teammates to pass you the ball when you're on the court. You're not retiring, young lady.
And like I said before, she always shows up to big, big games. So a lot of teams might fear the London Lions, but she is fearless.
Well, the Lions now making the most from the perimeter. Sorry, from the free throw line. As now the Suns again just trying to break down the zone defense. Well, Bradshaw, the foul is going to be drawn.
She's been super effective as well, just having London Lions to commit a foul against her, as we see here on the replay.
Well, again, that one as well. That's another foul that you could potentially upgrade to an unsportsmanlike foul. There's no attempt to play the basketball there. Now, again, I think one thing that they're not doing is they're not going to review because they want the flow of the game to stay as is. But when Lions get into Europe, these are the kind of calls that you will see that do get upgraded because referees will go to the monitor to check.
Yep, and I do think it's a little bit sloppy because Bradshaw, she hasn't made a three-point shot in the game so far. So to run at her on the three-point line is very silly. And we see there, Renee Bush capitalizing on that zone defense, hitting another three-point shot.
Well, Renee Bush all of a sudden coming out like a house on fire here in the second half. Much better from the perimeter.
Yep, I think she's warmed up now, that's why.
Well, the turnaround by Harrigan gets the front iron, doesn't get it.
And it seems she's just not in the flow a little bit with those shots, but I'm pretty sure she can make them on a normal day.
18-point deficit now. Suns battling back now. Renee Bush goes in the lane. Renee Bush gets the drop on it, and all of a sudden, Renee carrying the Sevenoaks Suns on her back, cutting it down to a 16-point ball game.
And she has 18 points so far.
Well, Holly Winterburn now. Penetration kicks out here to Harrigan. Back to Winterburn now. She's struggled from the perimeter so far in the second half, but she answers her critics, and she raises her hands to the heavens to say thank you very much.
I think she said, Josh, what are you talking about?
Oh, everybody's put me in my place right now. Why did we hire this guy to commentate?
It's okay. We're just saying it as we're seeing it.
Well, Lions now staying in the 2-3 zone there. There's the penetration. Great defense, but the reaching foul. I've got to agree. I definitely think it's a foul because Montecano beats it to the spot here. But again, it's the reaction afterwards. You cannot afford to react like this when you play in Europe because you're going to get different referees who respond differently to these kind of situations.
Especially when you're a away team too.
Absolutely, yeah. And even at home here as well because, you know, the referees that will come in, they'll be experienced. You know, you have to make sure that you try and maintain your composure as much as possible. She's had a terrific game. Again, they want to finish this as strong as possible.
And I think that just goes to show as well how effective and good Janice Montecano is because she uses her body there to protect the ball.
Well, Bradshaw now finds Millie Watkins. Well, Millie Watkins got to turn around and shoot that one. Turns it over.
I agree.
And Kennedy Leonard also checking back into the game now here for the Lions with Holly Winterburn.
I think the Suns here are a little bit confused here on defense. I think they was looking to try to go into the zone defense, but not everyone was on the same page.
Well, Chantrell Charles has hit 2 threes, doesn't hit a third one. But another offensive rebound for the Lions. Charles in the lane now. Charles missed another layup. And Janice Montecano, well, with no regard there on the rebound.
And you've got to remember as well with these two teams, a lot of players know each other. They've probably played with each other at junior club level. You've got Janice Montecano and Chantel Charles playing for Haringey Angels. So this is not just a competitive game, but a fun game as well, because I think it's always fun playing against your former teammates.
That's a good. It's a big name you mentioned, the Haringey Angels, because they were one of the pioneers of women's basketball within London, because you had Hackney Whiteheat on the boys' side. Of course, a great play there by Bradshaw. But Haringey Angels, within that area, the Parkview Academy, Greg City Academy, those were prime places that developed some of the best talents, both on the women's and on the men's side for London basketball.
Right, and if we look here, we've got Azania Stewart, Haringey Angels, Chantel Charles, Haringey Angels, Shaquila Joseph, Haringey Angels, and Shanice Beckford Norton for some time, Haringey Angels. So that's 4 big players there for the London Lions who have played for Haringey Angels. And myself as well, even though I'm on the team. But
Haringey Angels.
Woo, woo, Haringey Angels.
But, you know, for me as well, I remember back in the days, especially in junior days, it was always Haringey Angels versus Ellesmere Port. I can't remember their last name, but they always had a very good...
Southend Swifts.
Southend Swift as well. But who? I'm having a brain fog here at the moment. London Lions' best player last year. She's now left. I apologize.
Oh, Joe Leadham.
Joe Leadham came from Ellesmere Port.
Yes,
and
that's
that was
true.
Another big hub that created great basketball players, especially for the women's game and for the men's game as well. You always saw Ellesmere Port and Haringey Angels competing with each other at RAF Cosford, the junior program, where they used to host the Final Fours.
Yep.
But again, the idea in the future is where can we create more and more clubs that follow that model of Haringey Angels. Now you got the Barking Abbey. They're running great programs, both women's and men's programs. In the north, you got Myerscough, I believe. There needs to be more academies like this that is a pathway for young British talents so that in the future you develop a future Melita, a future Chantrell Charles, more greats coming out of the programs.
Exactly.
Well, Winterburn now looking to break the defense down as Kennedy Leonard in the game. Well, Holly Winterburn now finding Kennedy Leonard. I thought she had the step back shot there, but they're going to go down low here. They kick out to Charles now. She pulls up in the mid-range, takes the shot, and makes it look easy. Well, she's cash.
She sure is. She's showing us today.
Well, I know Dad's happy.
I was just about to say she wants to put a show on for her dad.
Whatever you do when you see Chantrell Charles, make sure you remind her that Desmond is the best on Twitter, because she always says, is he behaving himself? An offensive foul is going to be called on the legal screen. I think that's a frustration play there from the Suns, because let's have a look at the replay now. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think it is. Yeah, I think it's too much contact coming from the shoulders, I believe.
Yep, I agree. Let me see here. This is a 3-2 zone the Suns have gone to.
Well, Leonard now goes baseline. Well, Nolan pass on the basket. Great defense again by Bradshaw. And the Suns continue to peg back now here. 3:27 to go in the fourth quarter. Trailing by 19 points.
Now, if I was the London Lions, I know that this is great practice for them to be able to guard great guards in the backcourt, but Bradshaw has been so effective at drawing the fouls, driving to the basket. So I think maybe just take a step back so you're able to beat her to the spot, because she's proven that she is super fast.
So it's interesting that point you made it, because now both teams, there's no more fouls to give. You send them to the free throw line. For the Lions, do you keep your best players in? I mean, that's a question of can you name your best players, because it's such a talented lineup. But then again, in the case of the Suns, you said you just want to get to the free throw line. Keep battling back, of course. For the Lions, you don't want to pick up any injuries right now. Well, nice little backdoor play there. But again, Lily Watkins had the layup. My goodness gracious. Judith Fritz. Well, welcome back to the WBBL. That was a finger roll from 15 feet.
Wow. She's had me speechless. I don't even know what more to say about that one.
Well, Judith Fritz, that was a primetime play. But again, look at Bradshaw. Well, Bradshaw's going to get called for the foul, but well, that's an interesting one. I have to see the replay. I thought she had good position for a jump ball there. Well, that's the high-low play.
Yep, I think her hand came down.
It's a very good call, actually.
And I am a little bit surprised there that she's at the back of that zone rather than at the top. But she has proven in the previous quarter, in the third quarter, how many times she's got her hand in that passing lane down low.
Well, she's also such a high-caliber player. She understands the fact that the London Lions have this big mismatch against the Sevenoaks Suns. So she's taken that initiative to go down and force those double teams there. But again, there's only so much you can do until you finally get caught out for the fouls. You said the swipe, she came down very aggressively. The problem now for both these two teams, no more fouls to give.
Exactly, and that's why the London Lions are so effective, because that high-low pass. And we see here, Holly Winterburn with the steal in the backcourt.
Well, Winterburn
with the spin.
Winterburn gets called for the offensive foul.
Now, I'm not sure if I agree with that one. What do you think, Josh? I'm going to have to agree with
that one. I tell you why. When she went for the spin out, we're going to see it in the replay. Watch the right arm. So have a look at the right arm here. Okay. Or the left arm, whichever one it is. Right there.
Oh, right there.
Yep. It's the elbow.
Now, to ask you with that, and for anyone at home watching, just to elaborate on that. So she did have her elbow up, but it wasn't extended. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
You're actually right. You've got a very good point there. And you know what? That may be a defining argument there for Coach Mark Clark. The only thing I'm saying is whenever you put your arm out like that, you're saying extended, which is definitely a foul. I think because it's a high elbow. That's my only thing right there. Now, again, I've actually looked at referee rule books. I can tell you the book is about that big. So many. It's also interpretation, how you interpret each call as well.
And angles, too, of where you're standing to see.
Crossover from Renee Bush there. And again, there's going to be 2 free throws, and Holly Winterburn.
You see there a little bit of frustration from her.
I think she's actually frustrated with herself there, because I think she had good position right there. I think that's probably just self-frustration more than also the cool down the other. I mean, Holly Winterburn's one of the best in the WBBL, excuse me. But is there really need to commit that foul at this point in the game? Probably not. And I think it's a wise decision by Mark Clark to probably pull her out of the game.
Yeah, well, she's on 5 fouls. So she has to
My
sit.
apologies. I need to keep up with the stats. That's why. I'll tell you what.
It's all right. I've got your back, Josh. Got you. I got you.
I think you're
But no, I think Winterburn must be a little bit frustrated there, especially as she didn't play yesterday. So this is her first game back with the London Lions. So.
But also, this is building confidence for the Suns now, because what was a 24-point lead is now cut down to 16. And like I said, without all their players here, this will be a massive confidence boost if they can keep cutting down the deficit.
Yep. And Hurstler unable to make that short jump shot there.
Well, now Renee Bush here. Now, without Bradshaw on the floor here, they don't really have a dominant point guard, of course, but Janice Montecana now split the defense. Montecana all the way. Janice Montecana gets the and one. Whoa. That's just Janice doing Montecana things. One more time, please.
And she has 16 points right now. She has just been amazing this game. The handles and the finish. Good job, Janice Montecana.
Well, they've respelt her name, by the way. Do you know what it is now?
MVP.
No, that was the
that
former
wasn't.
spelling.
Oh, no, sorry.
Great. I mean, that is just every time she's on the floor, she just does great things on the basketball court.
We've got too many names for her
Apart
now.
from making the three-point play, of course. But, as you said, silent. I mean, it's been a relatively quiet game for her. And, again, she hasn't had a perimeter shot going as she would have liked to have done. But, again, put all the good players on this team. This Sevenoaks Suns team, they will challenge for that top spot.
Yep, and now Hurstler has to sit down with 4 fouls.
Good ball movement here from the Lions.
Oh, no, sorry. She's still in. She said, hey, Mel, I'm still on the court.
I think she's a good player. I think again, she's had good looks. She hasn't been able to knock them down. But, again, time she'll settle into this team, and those will obviously improve much more here for her.
Yep, and I think she's one to watch out for in the Euro Cup as well, because she has that experience.
Well, Kopp will try to throw it down low to Judith Fritz. But, again, great defense there by Kennedy Leonard.
And I was just about to say as well, Leonard's been a little bit quiet. She has on with only 3 points, but she's proving me on. She's already got 5 assists.
Well, Renee Bush now, a few seconds left, right at the end of the shot clock. Had a foot in the line, so it's a long 2-pointer. Cutting it back down to a 14-point ball game.
And she has 20 points.
Well, Shaquilla Joseph now also has a very good game here this evening. Cuts down the basket, turns around, gets caught in a double team now. Fresh. Wide open look from the mid-range. Montecana secures the rebound.
She's going to take the ball up herself.
Well, Janice is now 2 rebounds away from a double-double. Oh, sorry, excuse me, 1 rebound away from a double-double this evening. Montecana splits the defense. Throws to Renee Bush, but again, I think it was too many players in the way that led to a turnover. But again, I got to tell you, I said this. If the Sevenoaks Suns can cut it between 10 and 15 points, this will be a massive self-victory for their confidence. It's now a 14-point ball game after being down by 24.
Yep, good job for the 7-8 Suns to come back into this game. I'm seeing this handoff weave here from the London Lions that I did call before. Into the ball screen.
Well, Leonard now has to get something going, goes baseline, kicks out, they get a wide open look. The 3 is up, 3 is no good. And the Suns now will try to push one more bucket maybe. Great defense by Kennedy Leonard.
I think that might just be a mental fatigue there, because she could have taken it all the way to herself rather than passing it to Renee Bush, who might have been open at the 3-point line, but maybe just a second longer. If Fritz held the ball, then she could have been in a better position to shoot the 3-point shot.
Well, last few seconds here, they're going to try and get one last shot now. Renee Bush now putting the moves on. Steps back, takes a 3, and a foul's going to be committed. Well, and this will be something Mark Clark is going to be probably disappointed in the fact that his team, led by as many as 24, potentially the league could be chipped down to 11 points here.
And they have another player there in foul trouble. Well, that has to sit with 5 fouls. So the London Lions, they'll not be happy with that one.
I got a question for you. I don't think this is anything about X's and O's. I think this is probably a mental thing that the team need to do together collectively to try and improve. Because as you said, games like this, they could have potentially won this game by 30. They could have potentially won it by 40. But
well, are they even going to win at this point? Well, maybe.
Definitely going to win.
Suns only down. Well, oh, yeah, true. Why was I thinking we're still in the third quarter? I'm having too much fun here.
I thought you were teasing me there, right? I was like,
I think I'm having too much fun.
But going back to what I said, is that you always have to finish games as strong as possible. I don't think this is a coaching thing. I think this is something within the players.
Yeah.
And as I said, sometimes they overpass the ball. But ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this one, the Sevenoaks Suns lose 83-72 against the London Lions. What a game it was. But at the end of this one, the Pride holds strong.